Black Ops 7 Zombies was revealed. Here are my brutally honest thoughts. Hold on. Don't shoot. Don't shoot! I just want to make one decisive video with my collective thoughts. I'm not here to dunk on the game. I'm not here to be negative just for the sake of being negative. I just wanted to put this out there because people are going to be asking, what are your thoughts on Black Ops 7? Are you going to play Black Ops 7? I'm a zombies YouTuber. Once I give my opinion, that's it. I'm not going to continue harping on it, making videos, being negative. I made a promise that I will just keep my mouth shut. You have my word. If I don't like the game this time, I, unlike Black Ops 6, will just not make content on it, and I will play the zombies games that I do enjoy. If you disagree, that is perfectly fine. I am going to be fair this entire time. I'm not going to be angry and volatile. Just going to lay out what I personally believe. And I would prefer if you didn't go on social media and attack me and my family. That's just bizarre behavior. I like a lot of what I saw. There's a lot of potential. I still don't think you should buy the game. At least not right away. I'll explain why. I am not going to pre-order the game, and if I do choose to purchase it, it will be post-launch. I want to see how the launch goes. I want to see how the game is received, and I want a proof of concept before I hand Activision more money. Let's rewind back to 2019 with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not to be mistaken with the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Just hang in there with me for a sec. It's all going to make sense in the end. This game is what I consider to be the first quote-unquote modern Call of Duty. Following an experimental and controversial Black Ops 4 and with the boom of battle royales like Fortnite, Call of Duty decided to hop on the trend train with Warzone, its very own battle royale, and set course on a path which has led us to this very day. But this game didn't even have zombies. Correct. But the next one did. Cold War, where we saw the zombies mode take a hard pivot in a new direction with completely new mechanics, largely inspired by Warzone. Then along came Vanguard, which was an expansion on what was an experimental open world zombies mode with Outbreak, which needless to say was not a very popular game. Then Modern Warfare 2, which didn't have zombies. Then Modern Warfare 3. the creativity. You know, they're just content updates at this point. They're not even new games. Modern Warfare Zombies felt like a natural evolution of Vanguard. It expanded upon the idea of open world, completing objectives, more, I guess versatility is the word. And then they yanked the life support right out of that thing right after it launched, and it didn't stand a chance, which I assume was to then focus on the next title, Black Ops 6. Black Ops 6 was the next big thing. It was the big mamoo around the corner, and they were going to focus on that. They were going to pour all their resources and their heart into it. And it was moderately successful. A lot of people really enjoyed it. The launch was quite successful. They had pretty much everybody hooked, including the people that would eventually grow tired of it. The first 3 maps were genuinely really good. And then the Tomb came out, which saw the first major decline in player count. I personally believe because it just didn't stand out enough. It sort of just took a bunch of recycled assets from other maps, blended it together, and made a passable but not outstanding experience. From that point, a lot of people like myself continued to sour on the game, not just because of map design itself, but also, I would say, the fatigue of the modern Warzone mechanics. The first 3 maps felt like unique, standout experiences, but when the maps all started to feel the same, they all started to play the exact same, if that makes sense. And then, after what was a pretty flaccid finale for Black Ops 6, let's be honest, they immediately reveal Black Ops 7, which promises to return the glorious, classic zombies we all grew up on and loved. Well, unless you're, like, under the age of 18 at this point, I guess. Which has a lot of people really excited, myself included to some extent. I am really interested in trying this classic mode. I'm just really hesitant on buying the game. First of all, it appears as though you are not going to be able to play. You need to unlock the classic mode by playing the standard mode. So doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? I gotta hand it to you. It's quite an effective strategy to get the OG fans that are very fatigued of the same mechanics rinsed and repeated in every modern title to play that way to then unlock the way they want to play. Yeah, I'm sure you won't lose anybody that way. But the broader reason why I'm reluctant to buy the game is because it feels like we're in an endless loop. It feels like we're stuck in the cycle of the same shit over and over again. For those of you unfamiliar with the COD cycle, I'll put it on screen, but the gist of it is, new COD gets revealed, people lose their fucking minds. The hype train is going at 150 miles an hour. The launch goes well, people enjoy it for a month, and then there's a steep decline. And then the next COD gets revealed, and rinse and repeat. It's like the entire community has collective amnesia. Like the previous year didn't just happen. It's like Men in Black when they flash the light and you just completely lose all memory of what just happened.
What in the hell is going on?
Excellent question. And the answer you're looking for lies right here.
Who are you? Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination. Damn, what a gullible breed.
The first thing I want to talk about is the story and the direction they're taking it in. Is there a direction? Obviously, we don't know much yet, but it seems as though they are not only continuing with the Dark Ether story, but inexplicably bringing back the OG characters along with their current cast. The point of creating the Dark Ether storyline in Cold War was to move on from the beaten-to-death original Ether storyline, which we had had for a decade plus. The original crew, the OG4 characters, are goated, needless to say. They will always have a place in our hearts, but digging them back up out of their graves feels disrespectful, particularly because the original voice actor for Takio no longer can voice act due to health problems, but also just confusing. It kind of just goes in the face of everything they've tried to establish over the past half decade at this point. Some people want the old crew back. Some people like the new crew. What do we do? Fuck it. Both. Just do both. We're not going to world build or flesh out characters with unique personalities or depth like a Mob of the Dead, Shadows of Evil, for example. We're just going to throw in some operators that look like characters that were popular in the past. What direction they are taking this story, I haven't a clue at this point. I don't think they know. It's supposed to follow Black Ops 2. As we all know, Black Ops 2 is, if not the most popular Call of Duty ever, one of certainly. And it feels like this game is leeching off of that. I'm a zombies guy, so I'm not going to spend much time talking about the multiplayer or the campaign, but in general, it just didn't feel like there was much more to build upon Black Ops 2. It felt pretty conclusive. You know, bringing back Raul Menendez from the dead. Unnecessary? Not particularly interesting, the whole idea of, well, what if this happened in this alternate reality? It just feels very nostalgia baity. The launch map is called Ashes of the Damned, which appears to be, to some extent, a reimagined version of Transit. We got a glimpse of what appears to be definitively Farm, and I think that is actually not a bad move. I actually like it at its core, because you're going to have one giant main map and hopefully multiple individual survival maps, which gives you a lot more content and versatility. In theory, there will be an experience for everyone. But then what's next? You know? What's the next map going to be? Is it going to be like a Die Rise remake? You know, like Black Ops 2 was an extremely popular game, and Transit is the single most controversial zombies map ever. It is one of the most popular of all time, one of the most played, for better or for worse. And again, to me, it just feels very nostalgia baity. Like, hey, do you remember that game that was like really popular like a decade ago? People haven't seen that in a while. People already forgot about it, probably. Let's just whip it back up. They just keep recycling shit because a lot of that core fan base has moved on from Call of Duty, and a lot of the newer fans never experienced that before. What about the OG fans that are still here, that are still giving you money? I think they deserve a new experience, or at least an attempt at one. I know we all like to dog on the Chaos storyline in Black Ops 4, myself included, when it came out. But at least they put in some effort, you know? And then those Chaos maps aged beautifully over the years. I'm a huge fan of them now. Anyways, this is not about BO4. We're basically getting a modern version of Transit with a few new interesting tweaks to make it feel semi-fresh. You know, the new perk Wisp T, the giant bear boss, which actually looks really cool. But I just don't feel like I would be missing anything if I didn't play it. It feels like the same story being rewritten over and over and over again. We're in purgatory. I am afraid that they are going to lure us in, nostalgia bait us into slapping $60 to $100 on the table, pounding us nonstop with microtransactions, and then let go of the rope again. We just saw it happen. It just happened not even an entire year ago. Again, I genuinely enjoyed Black Ops 6 when it came out. The first 3 maps were fun. I was having a good time, but it just began to feel like a vessel, a means in which to promote the microtransactions. It began to feel more like a store with a game attached than a game with a store attached. So I know that everything I just said sounded really negative, but that's just what I believe, and I'm trying to keep it real because that's all I got. Now that I've made my point, I will be quiet as a little church mouse, I promise you. My takeaway is the gameplay seems really cool. There is potential, but the premise of the game is very weak. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy the game at all, but I am encouraging you to please, at the very least, not pre-order. Wait to buy the game until there is a proof of concept, until other people buy the game and report back to us. If we continue putting the cart before the horse, the cycle will continue. If we continue giving them money without proving to us that they have actually changed, then we're going to find ourselves in the exact same position every single year, which is the definition of insanity. We can be Call of Duty's jury, you and I. Let's give it a shot. Love you.